Welcome to the Iconics Genesis 64 video guide. This video discusses how to use paths and location dynamics to create complex GraphWorX64 location animations.
In this video we will talk about location dynamic. Location dynamic allows you to move your objects on some path that you can define. So for example, in my display here, I would like to move my simple train object over my track. So what I can do is to take my little train, put it on the track, and then create a location dynamic for it. Now the way I have to specify the path for my train is, for example, to drag my path here, and then I can click somewhere in between on the red line to create a point, then another one, move it here, then another one, and so on. Now, this can be quite a long process, so it would be better to have another way to draw a path like this, and especially it would be nicer to have a very nice path which exactly follows the object that I am interested into. So there is fortunately a way to do that, and it is by means of a path object. So let me go to the Home ribbon bar, and I can start drawing, for example, a spline object or maybe an arc. Or another way to do this, to create a path, is by using a shape, for example an ellipse in this case, and then convert it to a path later on. So what I need to do right now is to create a path object which is very similar to my train track. So first of all, let me make this transparent, so I will remove the fill here and set it to transparent so that I can see through this object. And then what I need to do is to adjust my ellipse to be exactly at the center of my train track. So when I am satisfied, I can right click on the ellipse and convert it to path. Otherwise the trick will not work. So once I'm done, I can multi-select the path and the train, and I can do that from the Object Explorer. I can right click on the train and I can do copy path to dynamic location. In this way I can now set the path for the dynamic location. As you can see, my current path is exactly an ellipse that goes around my train track, which is exactly what I wanted. So I no longer need my path, so I can delete it or even just made it invisible. And I can click on my train to fix some more properties for it. So first of all, I will have to set a data source for my dynamic, and I can take a simulation tag. Let's say, for example, a ramp that will take, let's say, 20 seconds for the whole loop to be made. And then another thing that I want to make is to set the auto rotate property to true, so my train will be oriented toward the direction of the dynamic. So once this is done, I can go in runtime and see how my train is moving along the path. So as you can see, it is perfectly rotating along the track, and it really took me almost no time to draw that path because I have used an object for it. So let's go back to configuration mode. So to recap, I have created an ellipse, made it into a path, and then I have multi-selected the path and the train, right-clicked on the train and copied the path to the dynamic location. One last tip from this example is that the train track that you see here, which seems made by almost 100 of little rectangle put here in this loop, it's actually made only by 3 ellipses. So let me hide the track. And as you can see, this object here is just an ellipse, and the trick that I have made is that I have made line width very wide, and I have used line dashes to make this actually as a big border with a little holes in between. So in this way you can create complex objects just using some creativity.